Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty.
We winning light skin and radio. Waiting on the interview. Woo! We winning light skin and radio. Waiting on the interview. Woo! We winning light skin and radio. Waiting on the interview.
Okay, so what you see here are two light-skinned men. And basically the one in the front is stating that we winning, light skin. And the other one states waiting for an interview. Now this guy right here in the front, last name is Belafonte. And he used to be married to Mel B of the Spice Girls. The guy in the back, I believe his first name is Justin, but he has a very popular social media channel. And he's very successful. But what I want to talk about is the fact that many people believe that somehow light skins are winning and that you have an advantage with being light skinned. And that somehow this whole notion that darker skin, because of you being darker, is a disadvantage. Now, let me say this. This is not an attack on light-skinned men at all. I don't do that. Basically, what I want to do is to bring an about face, is to challenge your thinking and your perception so we can remedy some of the fallacies, animosities, and division that has occurred among us. So, we've heard of colorism. We've heard of white skin privilege. We heard of light skin privilege. We heard the term proximity to whiteness. That's supposed to grant you greater success or give you an advantage over darker skin counterparts. And basically, how about if I told you this? What if you believed was entirely incorrect? What if you believe was wrong? What if your belief in that particular area was a myth? And it's a myth that started centuries ago. A myth that was basically used to divide and conquer, to separate black people. I want you to ponder that. And if you were wrong about this particular belief, I want to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Because so many of you believed in light skin proximity, that somehow it has an advantage, and somehow dark skin has a disadvantage. This is the tale of two actors. Sidney Poitier, born February 20th, 1927, in Miami, Florida. Harry Belafonte, born March 1st, 1927, in New York, New York. Now, obviously, as we look at them phenotypically, we can clearly see that one is lighter and the other one is darker. In fact, much darker. I'm going to say probably about 6 shades darker. But according to you guys who believe this, the lighter skinned actor should have been more successful. Simply because he has light skin. Simply because he fits the old myth of proximity towards whiteness. He's lighter. And I guess the whole myth goes that we're more comfortable with someone who looks like us or who's closer to appearance to us. We will grant you favors. That's what's believed. However, that was not the case. Because the point that was made loud and clear by looking at Sydney, that in acting, entertainment, that his darker skin was preferred. He was by far the more successful actor. He was the more accomplished actor in a medium that is based upon visualization, where people can see you. Sidney was awarded the highest award that an actor can get. And he's had numerous awards. Not only that, he was very successful on Broadway. And by the way, these two here were not rivals. They were lifelong friends. In fact, they were actors, activists, philanthropists, and black men in the entertainment industry who very much supported each other and other black actors. Not only that, we can see that 60 years later, the torch was passed on. And for the past 25 years, the most successful actor in the United States of America is a dark-skinned black man named Denzel Washington. Academy Award winner a couple of times over. And what's ironic about this too? The UK version of Denzel Washington, their most successful actor across the pond, is a dark-skinned black male. So it goes to show you that a lot of times our belief systems are an error. They're based upon a myth. They're based upon people who are constantly recycling and repeating certain things over that are not true. Now, am I saying that colorism is not a fact? No, I'm not. Colorism is a fact. But what I keep stressing is that colorism is a caste system within the black community. Stepped out of the black community, all blacks of all complexions will deal with racism. Given that racism in which they will face, it doesn't matter if you're light or black. Or those two gentlemen in the videos who were saying that light skin is winning. If you have discernible blackness, you will be treated as being black. Light skin is not enough to change the alchemy of someone who's racist. A racist is not going to be any less racist because you're light-skinned, because you're mixed, because your hair is of looser texture. They don't care about that. Black people care more about that than white people do. And what I find about white people being raised in white communities is that they tend to prefer the darker skins. Yes, when they are attracted to black people, they go the opposite of the way that black people go. If black people control the entertainment industry, no doubt that Harry Belafonte would have been the more accomplished and more successful actor than Sidney. I'm not saying that Harry was not successful. I'm just making the point that the darker-skinned Sidney Poitier was more successful and more elevated by America. So therefore, this particular video And the reason why I'm making this is because I don't want darker skinned black men or black people to think that them going into the entertainment industry, whether they're being actor, model, any medium like that, that somehow their darker skin will be a disadvantage. And for lighter skinned men, I don't want them to go into the entertainment industry and facing a brick wall and thinking that somehow their lighter skin is going to blow the masses over and they're just going to be given and granted opportunities. That's not going to happen. Basically, prepare yourself. Do the acting, do the training, and get the mental toughness that you will need to deal with rejection. Many times what I see within the black community is that we allow things like colorism to separate us, to divide us. Getting back to colorism, yes, it's real. However, what I find is that it tends to benefit women more so than men. There's a great disparity in that. However, I still believe that is primarily within the black community and not so much within the white community. We all have to deal with racism, regardless of our complexions. So instead of allowing our complexions to divide us, as it was meant to be, why don't we take a united front? And whether we're dark-skinned, medium-tone, brown, or light-skinned, why not we take the stance that we all are winning? And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is another edition of See Me Beyond and Through with Monty, and I will see you all beyond and through.